So, have you ever seen a cat eye bear tutorial like that? But it's like impossible for you to make it happen? Well, we're about to find that out today. I'm Tino Vo, and welcome to my online nail art class. Okay, let's take a moment to enjoy this bear. Isn't that cute? And I know that it look probably very difficult to you. You probably have to summon all the courage that you have to be able to accomplish this bear. But I promise it's very, very easy. But there is tricks that you need to know to be comfortable doing this bear. So I am going to take out a small nails. Just because I don't want you to think that the nail have to be like 10 feet long for you to do anything pretty. You can absolutely do it on a salon ready nails. So my first layer of the bear, it will be blush gels. So blush gel have a very natural foundation. I love to use this type of color on like a French tips. It's mimic the nail bed, our natural nail bed, which is not a pink, it's not a red, it's like a blush colors. We are going to cure this blush gel for 60 seconds. So you probably will be very curious about this ombre also, a white ombre. And even though the back cover the ombre, I don't want a harsh French tip. I want the soft transition right here in the back. So I am gonna take out the ombre pattern gel. This is a #1 gel for ombre, and I have 3 different kits. But this kit is the primary and neutral colors. And of course, you have to have the ombre pattern sponge to do it. So I am going to teach you how to do ombre also. Now, for these type of colors, you can either do 1 coat or do 2 coat. It's up to you. It's very light and natural. Usually I only do 1 coat, but you actually can do 2. It will look slightly heavier. And on shiny tips, on shiny top coat, it's okay. But on matte, it's very pretty. I prefer to see it matte. See that? It's like a velvet glass colors. So I'm gonna cure this. First thing first is I am gonna take out the ombre pattern sponge. Inside, there is a grabbing pen available for you. And there is going to be a separate lesson on ombre on this product alone. But for these, ombre is in it. So I am gonna also demonstrate on this lesson. I am gonna choose white. The reason why I'm gonna have this ombre lesson alone, so it's organized. So if you wanna learn ombre, you can just go find it on how to use product playlist on YouTube. Now, I'm gonna take out an oval brush that I have, and I'm gonna pick up a little bit of white, a little bit at a time, you guys. You can apply on the sponge, or you can apply on a palette and then sponge it on. It doesn't matter. Now I'm gonna take this out. I know that typically you will take this and you will like dab it on right away. Or what I prefer to do is I prefer to dab it on the palette first. Now, the reason is if you have too much gel, it's gonna be splotchy. You don't ever want to do ombre with a lot of gels. So you wanna tap it lightly until it's completely soaked into your sponge. And you can see the more you tap, the less splotchy it becomes. Now you can move around. Okay, I can move up here and up here to create kind of like a tips. Now, here's an interesting thing is right at the division where we about to blend it, you don't want too much gel. So you're gonna come back here, gonna pick a spot, and you're gonna sponge it out just to get rid of that excess gel. Now you can see it's really light. That is a perfect time to go up here and sponge it lightly. Look at that, isn't that easy? And to me, this is the smoothest ombre ever. Now, you don't wanna keep doing it. You wanna cure this. The ombre, the sponge is very smooth because the sponge have high density. And I don't know if you ever use airbrush, but I absolutely despise airbrush because it has these little dots like this little hole or dot by the spraying of the airbrush. So that's why I prefer to do it manually, because you can control it. Now, the reason why I cure, because this layer is now dry. I just cure for a few seconds, just temporarily, so I can layer it. That is an easy way to do ombre. A lot of people that are inexperienced, they just keep tapping it, and it can be quite messy, you guys. It doesn't mean that it's not gonna work. It's gonna work, but I want you to be comfortable. See, stop right here. Anytime you're about to blend, you tap it to make sure that it's not caked up with gels. Then you can go up here, right near the division line, and you can start blending. You can start tapping it lightly. Once you practice and get a hang of this, I promise you're gonna use it in every single nail set. Even if you don't do an ombre, you will need to blend of some sort, some kind of blending going on, because it's highly desirable. And you can also do this. I show you several ways, just depend on what you like to do. You can also blend at a tip and then start to blend it out. See, paint it a tip like this. You can do that. And then you can take this sponge and just blend it out up here. It's just up to you and how you operate. Yeah, like that. And then here. Now, your question will be, how many layers do I need to do? Well, that's up to you. That's completely up to you. Like, some people think it'll be perfect, but some people will want it to be a little whiter, and some people just want a light milky layers. So it's just up to how much do you want the color to be on, how opaque you want it to be. So it's up to your taste. That is absolutely controllable. And I'm gonna pick up a few more on my palette right here. Just like that. Okay, I think I'm about there. I am full curing it, and I'm putting everything back. Now, this sponge, you might ask, well, how do I clean the sponge? So you can clean it on a palette like this, because this gel and the sponge is ombre. So it's not gonna cake up with gels. We work with small amount of gels. So after a few taps, there's no more color left. And if you use red or blue, there might be a stain left on that, but that doesn't mean that there'll be color in it. And you only use one face, so you can use this side, this side, this side, and this side, but not immediately. So what happens is you're gonna release it, and it's gonna look like this. And after like 30 minutes, it's gonna return to normal. So I want you to know that, because it's very valuable. You can use, see, it's already kind of returned to normal now. But you just want to leave it there and wait. And I don't suggest you put it back in the box. You just, have a little drawer or a little empty box, and you just throw this in, and this is your used sponge. So you can have more use out of it. And we have 100 pieces, but you always want to save your sponge and save money as much as possible. So let's return this to the ombre pattern sponge right here, like that. And I'm gonna take this out, and I'm gonna zoom in for you to enjoy the ombre. And I'm gonna take this nail sand out so it's not distracting. Look at that, you guys. And this is not two color ombre. It's just one color, because usually there'll be a nude or something opaque up here, and it's always easy to blend two colors together. But this color just blended by itself, and look how beautiful it is. So now all you need to do is a teddy bear. So I am going to take a top coat out and matte this nail. Actually, I need to zoom in again so I can apply the matte, and you can see the transition. Let me really zoom in. Now, if I flip the nail this way, you can see how perfect it is. But if I were to turn it this way, you can see that it's not quite perfect. You can see the little texture on it. The little, how do I call it? Little spot. Little, like a frog skin. It's not smooth. Okay, so I don't want you to be distracted by the texture, because when you sponge it, of course, it's gonna have texture. So you don't look at it this way and be distracted by the texture. The light gonna hit it and you're gonna see texture. So I want you to tilt it down like that, so you only see the colors. And the reason is the texture doesn't matter, because the moment you apply any kind of top coat on, the texture will be gone. If you do nail for a while and you're messing with texture, you know that. You know that the moment you top coat something, the texture will disappear. Now, I want you to look again. See that? See the difference? See this side? You see a little spot? Just like that. But this side, flawlessness. So that is something that you need to know, just in case you see those spots and you think, oh, I failed as a nail tech. No, you don't. Don't be distracted by it. Okay, I'm matting everything first. You don't have to. You can do the bear and then matte it after, but since the bear are shiny, see how shiny the bear is, and everything else is matte. I don't want to do this bear and then have to put matte and trying to work over this texture. I don't want that. So I'm just matting it first. But it's a complete choice. You don't have to matte it first. Okay, so that is matted. Matted is a velvet top coat. Now, I am going to choose Bridgerton Magnetic Cat Eyes. You can choose any colors, but this is my preferred color for the bear. I will clean the palette and put Bridgerton out. It is a rose gold. It's very demure, very royal. That's why I call it Bridgerton. Because it looked like Bridgerton to me. Okay, so that's that. And I am going to pick out my brush. I usually choose the Emboss brush, but today I'm going to choose the round brush because it's bigger. To see how it's go. Because I'm dealing with circle. Okay, so it's out. Let me show you your ombre again. Look at that. I think there's a little hair right here. But isn't that nice, the ombre, the gradient? Now, I am going to draw the bear. Started out with a circle. If you want to examine my bear, then you can examine the proportion. See the head and see how big the body is. Now, the body don't have to be bigger than the head. The body can be equal to the head. It depends on the nail shape that you're working on. This is a long nail, so the bear is elongate. So now you got a chance to see how I maneuver this proportion on a short nail. So I'm going to start right here. I know that I'm going to have an ear above the head. So about right here will be perfect for me. Okay. Because most people, they would start like right about here, somewhere up here near the cuticle, and they forgot that the ear going to be right above it. So you got to be aware of everything on the bear. Okay. And you can go wider if you want the bear to completely cover the whole nail. Like this, I go really wide to what is almost touch the sidewall. But you don't have to. It can be tiny if you want. For me, for my taste, I want it to be as wide as possible. I don't want it to look like a sticker. I want it to like match the shape of the nails. So I'm starting out with this, and I am going to magnify it right away with my magnet, the Tino Vo magnet right here. Sorry, it's old magnet, so it have acrylic and stuff on it. Okay, ready? I am going to use a head to do this. And you don't want it to move too fast. Okay. Isn't that pretty and very strong too? Go up here, slowly approaching it. Watch your glare. The glare is a white part. Watch it to see how it's react. If it works on your favor, then keep going very slowly. But if it starts to disappear like that, then back out. See, yeah, you have to watch. Don't watch the magnet. Just watch the glare. Okay, it's really pretty, but there's always a but. Do you see here? There's gonna be a mouth right here. So it's in your best interest to have these kind of dark at the bottom, so the mouth can pop out. So with that said, I am gonna go back. From here, I'm gonna slowly, see that? It's going up, see that? Slowly push. Perfect. Now I can cure. There you go. And you don't have to cure like really long. You can take it out now. You just want to cure because you don't want this to magnetize anymore. Right now, you cannot magnetize this part. It's sealed. The deal is sealed. So now you can move on. You can do the mouth, but I prefer to go down and do the body. And be careful on the proportion. You have the feet, okay? The body is matching the face, so never doing the body wider than the face. The face is everything. The bigger the face, the cuter it is. The rest doesn't matter. In cartoon or anything that are cute, they tend to make the body super small and the face really big forehead, really big eyes, or the cuteness that you couldn't handle. Okay. Let's make it a little deeper down here. Okay, that's it. Now, magnetize it again. You can start here using the head. Okay, I just want you to know that that's not the strongest. You're gonna keep going. I'm just doing the left side or the right side, but you gotta do the bottom. See that you push it up. See, get brighter. The top two, a little bit right here. It's all around. You just have to push it. The left side. There. Make sure that it's nice and bright. Tilt your magnet, see? Tilt it. Just to study it. Okay, now here. And take it out. See, so far so good. A round shape, a semi-oval shape. Nothing that you couldn't handle. Let's go in for the mouth immediately. We're gonna do a small circle, and of course, it can overlap in the body a little bit. But make sure you leave that big forehead. I would say only go 40% of the length of the head. You want a big forehead. The bigger the forehead, the cuter it is. Now, magnetize it. Make it really glary. Yes, like that. Another circle. See that? Nothing that you couldn't handle. Don't let the result fool you. This is very easy. Here. But some people don't know how to do it separately. Some people try to do everything all at once. It will not work. You have to do it separately. Just flash cure it and then move on. I am going to switch to the emboss brush now because the ear is pretty small. Don't do two ears. Don't be that person. Do only one ear. The ear also important. You have to make sure that it's not going out too much. It's aligned with the side of the head. Like that. Let me put this out the way. You don't need to see this. Okay, don't make it too big like a squirrel. Just be demure with it. And usually I will examine the ear, this part right here, aligned with the nose. Okay, it's go in a little bit. So that only a small space in between. You gotta aware of every single proportion out there. Okay, magnify it. I hope that you like this lesson. Instead of showing you the whole set, I am showing you a bear. And then later I'm gonna show you the heart. So it can be specific. So you can find it easier. If you dreaming of doing a bear, you can find it right away. And the video gonna be about 30 minutes long. So it's gonna be shorter than my typical video, which is like an hour. Of course, it's not gonna be brief. I try to put in as much detail as possible so you can accomplish this bear. just slightly shorter video. I think you will love it. Very specific lesson. There. Here. And take it out. And by the way, I'm doing the feet, but I want to tell you that just a circle. I want to tell you that when you're doing this with cat eye, you gotta make sure your nail facing you. Don't tilt like this or don't tilt like that, because cat eye the glare are vary depending on where you look at it. So you don't want to mess yourself up. You just make you could look straight right at it and then do it, so everything will be cohesive. So that just look straight at it and make it glare, because it's gonna glare while you look at it at this direction, that doesn't mean that when you flip it this way, see, you don't see that anymore. So if you tilt it this way and you magnify it like this, where you can see it, then when you turn it back, it disappears. See that? That's why you need to be very cohesive in one direction. I hope that makes sense, because it's very important. Cue this. Okay. Just a few seconds. And yeah, you can use a flash cure. I don't know why I don't use a flash cure. See, just another pair of oval, small little oval shape. These are basic. These shapes are basic shapes. So don't let the result scare you away. Tino got you. It's very simple when I break it all down. Okay, your flash here, my seashell flash here, I'm still making it. My last batch, when I tested it, there is a little issue. It's not major, it's just minor issue, but I don't want to sell anything that have issues, so I make another batch. That's why it takes so long for it to come back online, but I just want to make sure that it's perfect, because, you know, Tino is perfect, so everything that Tino have to be perfect. Now, let's give it arms. Okay, it go out just a little bit. Give it a little curve. I prefer it to be huge down here and small up here, like almost like a teardrop. Okay, and then magnetize it. Just like that. Make sure you stare right at it. Okay, good. Right there. Maybe on top just a little bit. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If you want to test it, you can test it just to make sure that it's completely freeze before you start out another arms. Like that. Okay. Continue. Okay, perfect. Now you can full cure this. Okay, so you look at this bear. Of course, it's cute, but I want to tell you that when I first started, I get freaked out very easy. Like, to me, this is not. When I take a look at this and take a look at this, it's like it looks like a failure, right? But I want you to be extremely patient, because remember, it have eyes, it have a bow, it have 3D things on it. There are all kind of things going on here. So this is not done yet. Okay, be very patient. Now I want you to go ahead and draw the eyes. That is art gel right here. I'm starting out with the Emboss brush, but not for long. I have to switch to the detail very soon. Okay, right on the ear, going down right here. Okay, the eye is in alignment with the nose. This is not the nose, but it's like a mouth part of the bear. You know what I'm talking about. You're gonna go in with the eye. Don't take the eye very lightly. The eye is probably more difficult than the entire bear. Just because some people would do the eye too big. Some people would do it too small. See, like this is perfect. You don't want it to be too small. Bear is killed when the eye is big. But if it's too big, you're going to lose this forehead proportion. And this is very important. This forehead, make it cute. Okay, the nose is a different shape. It's not a circle. I will magnetize it for you at the end. Okay, like this. This is a nose. Like a triangle, but not quite. It's starting out with a curve. And then you're going in. So see, it's like a triangle, but this is a curve. It's not flat. So you know, if it's flat, it looks like a tiger nose instead of a bear nose. And I have to switch to my 7mm details. And pick this up. Gonna make a tiny little line going down. And then one curve. Another curve, and you're ready to cure this. Of course, I will magnetize it. Easier to see it when it's magnetized. Just a little line though. And then right here, a curve. Ooh, I go crazy on that one. Right here, another curve. Okay, curve like that. With a line. I don't know what's going on with me with this. It's a little slippery. Maybe it's a palette. Okay, so take it out. And then you need a bow, cute little bow. Let's use red art gels. You know what this remind me of? It remind me of those type bear. You know, back in the old day when you use those type bear. I bet some of you remember type bear, but it remind me of that. Okay, you're gonna do two little lines, and you're gonna trace around the mouth part. Trace it, because the mouth part is a little curved, so don't just slash through it. Gonna go along with the edge of the mouth, and then you are going to make an angle down here, and make an angle in here, and then cure this, and you're gonna take it out, and you're gonna give it a little dot. Put it back in. The reason why I cure that and then I dot it separately, because if not, it's gonna fuse together. And you don't want it to fuse together. You want it to be standing out. Now it is time for top coat. So I will use Shined It. Okay, I put it out on a palette right here. Shined It top coat. Now, it's a little bit different with this version. I try to be diverse, so you can be flexible. But what happened is, with this bear, I top coat the body first, and then I use art gel right on it. Because art gel, when you do minor detail, it dries solid, so you don't need top coat on art gels. But this one, I draw everything out first, and then now I'm gonna put top coat over it with a coloring brush. Okay, I'm gonna paint all over it with top coat. So it's just up to you or your client. Some people don't like to feel like little gel right on it. They don't want to feel it. They're old-fashioned and they want it to be all smooth. But some people, they want to feel the eyes and the bow. So this is for those people who want it to be all smooth. If they try to be difficult, you can absolutely do it this way too, by drawing it first and then top coat on it. But you can absolutely top coat first and then use art gel. That's the reason why you art gel, because you can draw detail on without top coating it. So either way, this is top coated after you draw it. Okay, overshine it like that. And then cure it. 60-second cure, of course. Now, another difference is in the mouth part, I magnify the mouth part first. Then I draw on it. So, on this bear is quite different. I draw on it first and then I gonna magnetize it. So, I want you to see the difference. I will use clear emboss jelly. Just because when I do the teardrop technique, I prefer to use the tube. But it's the same as 3D jelly. Just squeeze out just a little bit. Okay. Then I'm gonna take the curling brush. But I do wanna wipe off the top coat. Then you are going to trace around the circle. The reason is you want to make sure that you completely cover the perimeter of it before you add bulk. If you start out with the big bulk of gels, it's gonna be very difficult to be neat like this. See, a small amount, you can trace it very neatly like that. Then you can squeeze out a big amount like this. Squeeze it out, okay. Twirl it around, and getting away from it. Just like that, getting away from it. Stretch it out, go back in, stretch it out, just to disconnect. And there is a mouth part. See that? And there is a difference. Okay, not much different, just taste and texture. Cure this. So now you already get a hang of it. I am going to magnetize the ear, the hand, the feet, and you're good to go. So take it out. You don't have to like full cure it. Take it out, and I prefer to just put it on a palette like that. And put it back. Let it standing up so it's easy for you to use. And now start out with the hand. See, start out with small amount of gels and be very neat. Very neat. Okay. Squeeze it out. Cure this. I just want you to know that when you squeeze it out and when you getting away from it like this, you stretch it out, it might not be disconnected right away. So when you stretch it out like this, you might want to go back in and stretch out again, go back in and stretch out again, and then it's disconnect. A very minor trick, but I have a feeling that somebody need to know that. Sometimes minor trick like that can ruin people's life if they're not aware of it. They be like, this gel is so messy, it's impossible to use, and then they're probably not gonna use it, and they just miss out on the entire things. So I wanna cover as much detail as possible so you can fully understand it. Okay, take it out. See, squeeze it out, and then stretch, go back, stretch, and then it's done. Cure this. Now, another thing that I like to do is, just because it needs to be like this, not like that, okay, like this. So instead of putting it back in the lid, which take a long time, you might want to do this. See how tricky I am with this? See that? You might love this method. Don't underestimate it. one of these little tricks. It can change your nail game. As long as you're comfortable with it, you're gonna rock and roll with it, and you're gonna make more money. If you're not comfortable with it, you're gonna be afraid of it, and you're not gonna step out of your box, and that will affect the money you make. Okay. Get this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I took a little long on curing with my flash cure because I forgot to charge it for like a week. I need to charge it like tonight. Okay, squeeze it out. Okay. Yeah, when you stretch it out, it's gonna get thinner, so it's gonna be disconnect. But sometimes gel, there's a lot of gel, so you have to like stretch it out really far, and then it's gonna start dripping down. So you only want to stretch it out about this much, and if there's still gel, you just return it back. You just contract it back, and then you stretch out again, and contract it and stretch out again. By the third time, it will be completely disconnect. It's pretty cool. Of course, I learned it all the hard way. They are self-developed. But now you don't have to. You can just learn straight from me. A shortcut. Okay, Kia. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We are almost done. And we are done. Cure this for 60 seconds. And this gel, it doesn't need any top coat. It'd be very sad if you have to top coat off the detail. These are done when you cure this. And don't let your negative nail tech friends saying, oh, Becky, you can only do these type of nail art on long nail. Don't let them discourage you like that. Look at this. They're like twin. See that? It's all about proportion. And that's not complicated. The whole bear look complicated. But when you really look at it, simple shape. A circle, oval, two little oval, two little half circle, and two little curved teardrop. And that's it. The hardest part probably be the eyes and the bow, which is not very hard. So that is how you make money for this Valentine. This design is viral, you guys. Everybody love bear. So, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. And don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube at Tino Vo. And everything that I use today is available at www.tinovo.shop. And until next time, bye-bye.